I don't think Aaron Rodgers to the Rams. Like, I don't know what it is with him. Maybe it's just the last 2 years, but I just don't think he's got it anymore.
I'd take Matt Stafford right now.
No, I 100%. Really weak clap for February 28th, 2025, years after zero, part 3 of episode 56 of the press conference, talking some NFL.
Drink like a champion today, baby.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's February 26th. We tried to do something here, but the combine would have been ahead, and we would have been lying to the people. So kickers, punters, and specialists are the people out today. Apparently they're doing some team drill thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it, but it's basically the start of the 2025-2026 NFL season.
The guy to my right was a college kicker. How do you think you would have performed at the NFL Combine kicking?
Actually, you know what? Mentally, I like to try it now because I feel like I was not confident enough.
You know what's funny? I was just thinking about the fucking same thing today.
Right.
Because I was thought about, remember when I went and did that fucking door-to-door sales job?
Right.
I was like, I could do that now. You know what I mean? I was 19 going to do that. Like,
yeah.
Me knocking on a door.
Some people have it at 19.
19, yeah. Some people do. But me knocking on a door at 19, a guy answers and me trying to sell him something, not going to happen. Right now, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck if you buy this. That's kind of the attitude you have to have. Is like, I'm going to give you my sales pitch and it's going to be good and it's going to be thorough. And like, if you don't buy it, I will go to the next fucking
confidence
door.
For no reason.
Right.
Yeah, because I, like, even my job now.
Rather than confidence, sorry. I know I just interrupted you.
I know you did.
But carelessness. Like, you just care what, this guy's going to, going to judge me. He's going to think about this for the rest of his life. If I fucking, don't sell it to him, it's like, who gives
You don't be careless where you're sitting there and you're cussing and talking about politics
no.
time, but careless.
Sometimes that helps when you're,
You have to know your audience.
Exactly. If the guy's like, I don't know.
The guy's got a Confederate flag.
And he's like, fucking pest control. You're like, I know, I fucking don't like it either, whatever it is. But like, this one's actually pretty good, bro. He's
but
like,
yeah,
all right.
I think if I went out there today, I would probably perform pretty well. If I got like a month to kick and like, just get my fucking flow back, I think I would do pretty well. I'd hit kickoffs to the end zone. I don't really know what they'd be looking for now in terms of landing zone, which would actually be better for me. Because I don't know if I'd be able to get it out of the end zone. If I had 6 months, let's say, to do legs and stuff, I'd be able to, just because I'm strong. Like, I'm actually in like my full adult form. I had a 50-yard field goal like a year ago without even like. Do you remember that at that field where we were fucking around? I hit like a 52-yarder with just like. It
was exactly 52 yards.
That's the challenge out there. You have 6 months. After 6 months, we'll film it. We'll put you through a combine, kicker's combine.
I'm down.
Specialist combine, punter and kicker.
Because that will help me also get. Because I would prefer to do workouts like. I was gonna ask you guys if you wanted to play basketball to help get in like shape. And like kicking, like, if you do it for an hour, 2 hours straight, you're using just the same muscles and it'll feel like you did a leg workout.
I ran today from just like the warehouse to my car, and I was like, oh no, I need to run. This is bad.
Yeah, that's why I keep.
Also, I can feel how 180 I am. I should be 160. You feel fucking heavy when you're
180.
I'm 180.
Way more than me now.
180. Who's fat now, huh?
A lot of that's muscle.
I don't.
Muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah, what's more dense than fat?
Like gravity. It's not gravity. It's density.
Mm-hmm.
Right. See, I told you it didn't work.
That's why whales. I'm not gonna get into it.
Anyway,
the density of a whale.
NFL. A lot of guys aren't participating in the combine, like the top guys. They said Cam Ward. They're not sure about. I don't think Shador is. Abdul Carter's not because of injury, which would kind of scare me. Depending, you have to obviously. I don't know.
I hope it scares him all the way to the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it scares GMs all the way down to
two
Dallas.
number 11s from Penn State on each side of the ball. That'd be pretty sweet.
And I believe that number 11 coming out of the draft is better than the number 11 on the Cowboys.
I think he could be.
That guy is fucking incredible. That right there is like, if you're, I don't know, like you need a quarterback at number 1. Titans number 1 pick?
Yeah.
Yep.
They need a quarterback. If they go take a quarterback, or they go take someone else, or they go take this guy, or they go take that guy, they need an O-lineman, maybe they'll take an O-lineman. If they don't take Abdul Carter, might be 5 years, might be 10. They're going to look back and go, why the fuck did we not take that guy?
No, I think that's why I said that with Joe Alt.
There's going to be a point where he has 17 sacks, and he leads the league in tackle for losses, and he makes open field tackles, and he leads the league in forced fumbles, like TJ Watt caliber stats, and they're going to go, what the fuck did we do?
The quarterback they draft is going to be out the league because they don't have an offensive line or defensive line.
That's the thing.
It's not the quarterback's fault.
If they take Cam Ward or Shador Sanders or Jackson Dart or whoever the fuck they're going to take first overall, assuming they do, he's going to be out the league or just be like a write-off in 5 years,
He'll be Sam Darnold.
He'll be Sam Darnold. I was exactly going to say that too, because it's not, and it won't be. We'll never know how good of a quarterback he was or could have been, because he went to a team where nobody could thrive in that system, unless it was like, you could probably put Patrick Mahomes in that system and he'll figure something out because he's that good and he's already been in the league to figure it out. But if you just put a fresh rookie in there and go, hey, we don't really have a great O-line, our run game's mediocre. Not really a lot of guys to throw to here. And we have no culture, nothing. Figure it out, buddy. It's like, I'm trying to figure out it for myself. I'm fucked. I actually like their defense a little bit, the Titans.
They had a very good defense. I mean, the game that they played the Jets, legitimately, they lost that game because they were at the fucking 5-yard line, and Will Levis fell in horizontally and rolled the ball to his running back on the floor, and the Jets picked it up.
There was a game where their head coach said, we would have won if we just punted on first down.
Oh, who said that?
Their head coach.
Their head coach. I thought I was going to say Vrabel, but it was Callahan. He said, I think we won the game if we punted the first time we had the ball and the time we got it. That is fucking unbelievable to say.
Like, we put it in our quarterback's hand, and he did everything he could to lose us this game. They should thank him because now they have the first overall pick. They weren't going to win the fucking Super Bowl anyway. But if you have a really good defense, I mean, they don't have the best defense in the league, but they have a really good defense. I like that D tackle, Jeffrey Simmons. They have a good defense. Why not add Abdul Carter and go for the best defense in the league? That cannot be a bad thing.
And we saw with the Eagles win the Super Bowl. What did they win with? The top D-line and top O-line.
So I had something to say about that. People were saying that Travis Kelce was sick, and that's the reason he performed so poorly. The reason they performed so poorly is because their quarterback, there was no rhythm because the defense of the Eagles was in his ass before the fucking 2 seconds back.
There's no scenario where they were getting fucked by those Eagles.
On the line.
Yeah.
And then anytime he did have it, because they rushed 4, so that's, if they were blitzing, and it's like, okay, that's why Mahomes couldn't do anything, because it's like, they're rushing 4 people. So there's 7 back there against my 4 receivers. They're almost 2-1 to my receivers. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. If I put a ball in a perfect spot, it's probably not going to work.
Let's send 5 out. They're still, and their secondary is fantastic. There's still 7 fantastic defenders guarding 5 guys, and I have 2 seconds to find someone open.
It's not going to happen. And I'm just saying with Kelce, him being healthy would not have made much of a difference.
No.
They wouldn't have accumulated 24 more points, and then half of those 20 points were in garbage time anyway, when Worthy caught that deep ball. I'm glad you brought up the draft situation, because there was something I forgot about, but I wanted to talk about earlier. So Mel Kiper dropped his second mock draft. Abdul Carter going number 1, which I have no problem with. Cam Ward going number 2 to the Browns, which I have no problem with either, because
they seem like a franchise where they're taking a quarterback.
New York Giants, I don't think they could draft anybody that would help them, but if I were them, I would go with the best O or D lineman. They're saying Travis Hunter.
That's a terrible scenario to be in, where it's like, it doesn't matter who you draft, you'll be right back with the top 3 pick next year.
Aaron Rodgers apparently reached out to them about their quarterback need, and I'm like, why the fuck would you want to go there?
You would think at his age, he's looking for a Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
To add to his trophy case. He doesn't need money.
But the problem is there's no Super Bowl. The only team that's kind of contending for a Super Bowl would be open to taking him, the Rams or the Vikings.
Yes, the Vikings.
But I'd still enough. I don't think they would win it with him, but they're in that class.
The Rams I could see.
So 4, he has Travis Hunter 3, Will Campbell 4, offensive tackle. If I were the Giants, I would take him. Or I would take Mason Graham, the D tackle from Michigan. Guess who he has going number 6 to the Las Vegas Raiders? What position do you think, besides quarterback, would be the second least that you would pick here if you were the Raiders?
I'm going to say he has Ashton Jeanty going 6.
Right, he does. Why would they take a running back you get 5, let's just say 5 years out of? If they take him now, in 5 years, he'll be on another team and he won't be as good, and they'll still be in the same spot they're in.
Scenario.
Yeah,
exactly. Why would they take a running back at 6? Unless he knows something I don't know. I think this guy's an asshole and an idiot. I really do. Every mock draft of his, I'm like, first of all, looking at you, I can see you've never played football.
No, it makes that even worse, and it's going to be worse when you look at the rest of his draft, I'm sure. This is a great running back draft.
No, it is.
So you can get value at running back in the rounds 2, 3, or 4. I bet you he even knows that, and it's like, so you're telling me a team's going to take a running back 6 overall with much bigger needs, bigger fish to fry over there in Las Vegas, and they're going to take a running back 6 overall when they can get maybe not as good, like it's not going to be Jeanty, we'll say, but a really good running back for the NFL in round 2 or 3, and they need O-line, they need defense, they need receiver, they need quarterback. Why the fuck would they go running back?
It doesn't make any sense.
With Tom Brady at the head of it, the decision making.
They should go tight end again. We got that kid from Penn State.
So he's
Mayor.
That's the noise I just made.
Bauer and the guy.
Mayor Bowers and Warren, baby.
He's projected to go to the Saints.
Ninth.
I like that kid though a lot.
I think he's fantastic.
I'm trying to see.
The Saints said they.
Oh, the Eagles are projecting to get another D tackle.
You remember? Oh, great.
The
From
Saints
where?
owner said that
I just let me go back. Go ahead.
Derek Carr's a guy they can win with.
Who said that?
The Saints owner.
Well, see, if I'm Kellen Moore, I would say, hey, you know what? I actually don't want this job. I'm going to go back.
Yeah, they're sitting in the interview, and Eric's the owner, and he says that, and Kellen Moore's like, "What? You don't fucking think that? We're not keeping fucking Derek Carr, are we?"
The way he said it too about Derek Carr, he's like, he's been in this league a long time. He's been a pretty good quarterback, and it's basically like saying, like, if this team wants to get rid of you, I will jump on board with that. But if they want to keep you, I will let them know this is not my choice, but I will coach this guy. From Ole Miss, Walter Nolan.
Okay.
Who has quickness and size planning anywhere on the D line, so perfect. They could play him anywhere.
How big is he?
He is.
Pause. That was fucking insane what I just said.
He is 6'3", 305 pounds.
It's kind of small.
Yeah, he's a little tiny. He's a little light in the ass to be in a box there.
You know who did not get talked about enough this year? I felt he could have been Rookie of the Year defensively. Was Braden Fisk on the D line of the Rams?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was.
Remember that kid running a fucking 4.7 at the combine from Florida State?
Yeah.
Who else went to Florida State on the D line? Rookie of the Year.
Was it
Verse?
What I was going to say is his name is
What
Verse.
a
I can't think of
fucking
what's his
D-line.
first name.
Jared
Verse. Fuck. I knew it was Verse.
Rams have a good young defense.
Why are they
Dude, they
trying to
have
get rid of
Florida
Stafford?
State defense.
What's happening with Stafford?
Who's the other kid they have at D tackle? Kobe Turner.
Yes.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, because Stafford has 2 years left on his contract, so
Another thing I sent you guys, the Jets and Rams, it's very possible they just switch quarterbacks. I think the Rams losing that 100%.
I saw Keenan Allen either wants to go back to the Chargers, back to the Bears, or to the Rams if he does not retire. I would like him to see him go to the Rams.
But my thing with
I like
them,
him back at the Chargers.
I would like them to
Yeah.
trade Cooper Kupp because they said that's just happening. He's gone.
why are they getting rid of everyone? They were the team who played the best against the Eagles.
Yeah, what you could do is I don't know why they're getting rid of
I felt if another team could go out of the NFC last year, like Eric said, it would be the Rams.
If they were
completely
the
agree.
best, they played the best game.
veteran quarterback, veteran wide receiver,
Good coach.
Kyron, good coach, good young defense. The defense is only
I would-
Healthy
I
O line,
would-
it's a good O line.
I would get rid of Cooper Kupp, to be honest, but I would try to replace him.
You could trade Cup.
Because
Trade him, get value out
That's
of
what
him.
I'm saying.
Trade Cup to the Chargers.
I just
Chargers need a
think
wide
the
receiver,
injury
get-
and the
get
age.
Keenan.
Maybe draft him first, or maybe draft a first round wide receiver because that kid from Arizona I saw is going to drop.
Oh yeah, that kid was fucking spectacular.
They also said that if they did do the swap, they would do a package where Tay and Aaron went together to the Rams.
Okay,
Tay wants to stick with
I
them.
like that.
But I don't think Aaron Rodgers to the Rams. Like, I don't know what it is with him. Maybe it's just the last 2 years, but I just don't think he's got it.
I'd take Matt Stafford right now.
No, I 100%.
And
Matt
I'm a big
Stafford.
Matt Stafford guy.
But if you look at Aaron
100%
Rodgers
I would take
last
Matt
year
Stafford
compared
right
to
now.
Brady, I think last year, maybe his second to last year, they had the same stats.
You know who does
It's
the most
like-
interrupting is Billy. Fuck you, fatty.
You're number one for sure.
You're so fat.
Okay. I don't know
What
if that's
about
really-
Steelers trading for Stafford? That was another team thrown out there.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I think Stafford is.
I think they need to let Tomlin go.
I think Stafford has 2 years in him left to do something, and the Steelers are at a position where that type of quarterback would be very beneficial to them.
I like Stafford a lot, man.
You think they need to let Tomlin go?
Yeah, I think it's mutually beneficial to let Tomlin go. I think Tomlin can go be a head coach elsewhere and thrive, and he'll go, oh, I'm happier here. I'm better here. And I think the Steelers would go, yeah, man, we just can't lose 9 years without winning a playoff game and lose six straight playoff games. Can't do it.
Just
Yeah.
7 hours ago, Sean McVay said the first goal in mind is to have Matthew Stafford back as the Rams quarterback.
He wants him back for sure.
Tom McVay is he's got a pretty good offensive mind, I'd say.
Yeah, the problem is if the GM doesn't. I mean, Mike Vrabel didn't want Will Levis, and he was told this is our quarterback. So what is he supposed to do? He doesn't get to make that decision.
Who do you think was right about that?
The Patriots, man, if they spend in free agency and they get they're talking about certain guys, which I wouldn't like them to get. They just said a receiver. I can't think of who it was now, but I was like, I wouldn't go. I think it was it maybe Cooper Kupp, and I was like, nah. T. Higgins though, or A.J. Brown, if that's the case, those would be big pickups because at their age,
They want to go young guy.
Right.
You want to go young everywhere if you're the Patriots because you're not winning the Super Bowl this year, or maybe, and probably not.
Oh no, they know with Vrabel, we're gonna have to rebuild this. We're gonna figure it out, but we got the quarterback.
We're looking like 4th or 5th year of Drake May's rookie contract.
When he gets his extension, basically.
Win a Super Bowl before then.
Right. Which they have so much cap space, and they have probably a top 5 pick, top 10 pick.
I saw a bunch of trade value for Joe Milton for them to get a second or third.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave himself a lot of. When did he play? And he came out there and he actually won them a game. I think it was the last game against the Bills.
Final game against the Bills, but it was the Bills' kind of backup team.
No, of course, but it's still
he played well. That doesn't mean you can't just go in there against even a second string NFL and just play well.
No, he played very good. Another option if I were the Rams. I mean, what do we do? We got Jimmy G sitting back there. He's got more rings than Stafford. Why does he get to start and I don't? That's the question I'd be asking. The last game of the year, Drudy said it last night. He was like, Jimmy G with Sean McVay played very well. And I'm like, anyone with McVay would play well.
Dak for Joe Milton, straight up.
I'll take it.
Yep.
I know what I got with the guy.
Yeah.
They want $60 million on their books. That's the whole point.
Take it.
Yeah. If you said Dak's contract and
I forgot Drake May was there.
Oh, yeah. Dak for Drake May.
Yeah.
And
I guess
Joe Milton.
then you could, now Drake May's, you got to go somewhere.
Listen, you got a problem. You have 2 quarterbacks. We'll take those on for you.
Right.
And we'll give you our guy.
We'll take that problem.
Who, everyone will talk about him like he's a fringe top 10 guy. Drake May's not that. So you really want him?
Let's do this. Top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL going into the next season. Let's do it early.
Patrick Mahomes.
Is number
Josh
1.
Allen.
Josh Allen's
Joe
number
Burrow.
2. Joe Burrow's number 3.
Lamar Jackson.
Is number 4 for you.
Mm-hmm. Give me 2 seconds.
I'm going to have a controversial list. I can't wait.
Okay, so Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
Lamar.
Actually,
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I've seen a guy. Jalen Hurts.
4?
Yeah, that's what I'm just because of the dog in him. I just feel like you can't keep Lamar out just because of what he's done, but you've got to get over this hump. You got to get over it. You have the best one of the best organizations, one of the best teams. If the fact that it's just him needing to be better, I have to not take the risk, but I'm not going to go Jordan Love with him. Over.
You want to hear my list?
I do.
It's going to be similar. Mahomes, I'll go Burrow, and then Allen. Those are interchangeable. You could go Allen. Obviously, he's the fucking reigning MVP. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Jalen Hurts, and I'm going to keep Lamar out, and I'm going to go Jaden Daniels going into the next season.
I don't like you did this last year with Stroud, and it worked out terribly for you.
Stroud didn't make the fucking conference championship, though.
No, that's fair, but the Skins also had they had the best free agency by and large. They didn't just add Jaden Daniels, and I'm not saying he didn't play great, and I'm not saying
I'm not too hot on their wide receiver core, their running back room, or their O-line, though, and he played great as a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with him, though, is a lot of his plays, a lot of his situations were his athleticism, and now that that's figured out, even with Mahomes or even with Josh Allen, it's when teams beat them, it's because Mahomes, you kind of took away the Superman factor. If you keep him at Kyler Murray, that's what I was going to say. Once teams figured out after his first year
RG3.
or 2, you keep him in the pocket and you kind of surround him and make him push up in the pocket. Then I'm not saying he doesn't. I just wouldn't take him right now because Stroud did the same thing, and
my thing is
RG3 did the same thing.
I agree with you on the RG3, Kyler Murray, and all those takes. Those are obviously those are facts. You can't argue it. I think Jaden Daniels in the pocket is a great thrower of the ball and has a great pocket presence. I just think he is so athletic he has to use it.
He looked like he was a 10-year he didn't look ever really like a rookie quarterback.
But they can rely on Jaden Daniels. He's fucking played 16 NFL games. What are you talking about?
No, yeah,
conference champ. It's but look at him.
I agree. Like I said, that he's. I'm not taking him over. Like Lamar? I said, Jalen Hurts or Lamar. No,
I didn't take him over Hurts.
I'm just saying I wouldn't or Lamar.
No,
I wouldn't.
Lamar.
But like I said, give him some time to.
You know what's crazy is Atlanta has a black left-handed quarterback named Michael, number 7 too.
Oh yeah, Michael Vick.
It's crazy with dogs.
They said every dog in Atlanta should be watching out.
Yeah, they said they're going to keep Kirk and have him as a backup, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, cool.
Right.
So just $30 million on your books.
Right. I don't like that.
I guess you're stuck.
Who's your top 5?
It's actually not terrible. It's
Mahomes?
Actually not terrible considering that you have a guy that's learning. It's basically his rookie year.
I had Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Hurts, Lamar.
I had Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Hurts, Daniels.
All right.
I would go Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Just swap those guys. Hurts 4, and then I would keep Lamar at 5 for right now.
Yeah.
Just because of that. I would even put Stafford above Daniels right now just because he's a proven vet and everything like that. But when it comes to A-Rod's old and hurt, Herbert looks terrible in his playoff games, and then Love and Stroud. Stroud had a rough sophomore year. Love, I think those guys are behind Daniels. I put Daniels at what I would say number 7.
I'm not kidding, and you might call me. Either they're going to call me an asshole, or you're going to say, "Yeah, you sound stupid for saying this." I would take Tom Brady right now, this year, over Derek Carr.
Yeah,
at his age.
No, you're right.
Okay, I didn't know if that was an asshole thing to say.
I'd take him over like 11 quarterbacks.
I was just looking for, like, I don't want to be a
You're
dick.
the Titans. You wouldn't be like.
Oh, that's not even a question. I would take Tom Brady when he's dead over what I have back now. I would take Tom Brady's father.
Tom Brady has to throw left-handed for the whole season.
I would literally take his dad or his kid.
He could do it too. Do you think, like, let's say we'll just use Lamar Jackson as an example because I think he resembles Michael Vick the most. If Lamar Jackson came out just right now today, breaking news in this day and age, that he was running a dogfighting ring and he's going to serve 3 years in prison, that once he got out, they'd let him back in the league nowadays? Like if he went through that today.
Like if was he the first one to ever do it? Like it never happened with Michael Vick.
Just a different era, just a different time in the world. You know, everything's political correct. Like
I think in
it
2025, how it went. If he did it how Michael Vick did it, then probably because Michael Vick was like, I mean, take me, I did it. You know,
he was kind of like he kind of like took it wasn't really his dog ring.
He's a dog for that. I mean, no, I'm not. I hate that no pun intended shit. But I meant like he's a dog for that.
He did a year in prison,
and he didn't say a fucking. He didn't bitch. He didn't say shit. And then he came back and hooped. Like
and he did all
his first pass back.
Works with the PETA and all that.
No one's donated more money to like saving and helping dogs than Michael Vick has. Honestly,
to be honest, this was a. Remember, you said addition by subtraction, or this is what that was.
Yeah,
he's helped more probably than he hurt.
Spend a penny to save a dollar. Right,
he's helped more than he hurt based on what he did, and I'm being dead serious.
No, I agree.
One person in the world that wasn't against what Michael Vick was doing.
And it wasn't even that it wasn't against it; it was just the fact that it was happening. So why is he like at fault for it?
Look, there's clarity in the past that can only be seen in the present.
Right,
and that is what happened here with Michael Vick.
Right, and he's figured it out though. He did, but
he's head coach now.
Why did it have to be someone that resembled him exactly? Why couldn't it have been Matt Stafford?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, it could have been
a quarterback in the NFL.
Josh Allen.
I mean, I want to say Lamar and Vick are the same age. The Vick had all the rushing records before Lamar broke them.
So they're just MVP. The same quarterback.
They're just the same guy.
Yeah, it didn't have to be what you said. You said looks like him.
I meant in his play.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not saying that's not what
I mean, don't do that to
but
me.
People are going to perceive, they do that.
I
would say they would.
Who's your favorite NFL player of all time?
I mean,
T.O.
Terrell Owens for you.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
I mean, Josh Allen's in there, but that's because he's playing right now. I would say like prior to like a previous, like a retired player. I'm just saying right now.
It doesn't have to be if Josh Allen's your favorite player of all time.
I would say he probably is, but I'm going to go with a retired answer because, I mean, I've talked about the guy enough. If he wasn't my favorite player, people would probably have a real issue with me at that point. You go ahead. I'm going to think retired.
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
I'm a Cowboys fan. I had an Eagles Michael Vick jersey and an Atlanta Falcons Michael Vick jersey. I was a Marcus Vick fan in college because of Michael. I was a diehard Michael Vick fan.
I don't think anybody wasn't not a Michael Vick fan.
Well, you obviously aren't a pit bull, so
yeah.
I think there was a few.
Mr. Worldwide was not a fan.
Yeah,
they even had a Michael Vick computer game you could play and shit like that.
Dude,
it was unbelievable.
That video, there's no more broken video game character than Michael Vick when he was on the cover.
Madden 04.
Yeah.
Yep. When you would just go back and forth.
I think that was my first like super fandom was Michael Vick.
Yeah. I would say he's in there. I'm just trying to think of someone.
If I was going defensive player, I'd say Charles Woodson is my favorite defensive player.
Okay.
I would probably say my favorite defensive player was Brian Dawkins.
I like that answer as well.
Oh, yeah. Or Ray Lewis, or just one of those guys, which,
60 names just went in my head. Holy shit.
Right. Offensive, I don't know. I retired. I'm trying. Zach Martin, for a fresh cut, you know what I mean? But open wound.
The first guy I remember being a big fan of as a defensive player was DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, DeMarcus Ware. For me, Miles Austin always pops into my head when people bring up Cowboys.
I love Miles Austin.
I don't know if he was that good or if I just watched
Patrick Creighton.
Yeah.
Julius Jones.
Roy Williams.
Notre Dame and Cowboys guy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always sick when that happens.
RB. I mean, Zach Martin's the pinnacle of that. Yeah. It's not getting topped. Best right guard of all time on both Notre Dame and Cowboys, and we're both those things. That's not going to be
ended with more All-Pro selections and holding calls in his career, which is like absolutely unbelievable.
I mean, call me a fucking whatever. I know it's biased, but I genuinely think the two greatest guards of all time come from Notre Dame.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a question. I mean, I don't think that would be a
Somebody on
question.
Twitter put like the top 10 offensive line list, and I was like, there was no Trent Williams and there was no Quentin Nelson, and I was like, that's tough.
I love the history of the
Nelson out
game,
there.
but like no one can move at the size of Quentin Nelson like Quentin
Or
Nelson.
Trent Williams. They were putting him in motion against the Packers in that playoffs, and he took 3 people out with just like
Yeah.
2 arms.
Or when he's on the sideline and people are fighting, and he just shows up and it's like, oh,
I
we're
think
not
there's a
fighting
clo-
anymore.
Oh, that's like he came with a gun.
This
That's
might
what
be
you
a
would
stupid
think.
argument, but I think there's a closer left tackle to Trent Williams than there is a left guard to Quentin Nelson.
Yeah.
I don't know,
could do
to be
that.
honest.
Nelson can fucking move.
Like Billy, like that Debo clip is what I'm thinking when him
That's
and whoever
exactly
were
what I'm thinking.
fighting, and you just see the other team like seals back
And they were like,
off,
all right.
and you just see Trent
Here
Williams
comes this
running
guy.
in, and you're like, the fight's
How old
over.
is he now? 33 or something? 34,
He punched
36?
Richard Sherman right in the face, and Richard Sherman took it like a man.
Yeah.
When
That was Michael Crabtree.
when he was on the Redskins. No.
Oh, when he put his helmet on and
Yeah,
went
he
out
said,
there.
"I'm gonna punch you in your face." And Sherman said, "Do it then." And then it was kind of it wasn't like a straight like I'm gonna stand there and throw
Yeah,
my
it was-
best punch, but he did punch him across the face, and Sherman laughed and put his hands up.
A lot of people have punched Richard Sherman in the face. I love that.
Oh, I probably would have.
I would be up there for one of my favorite defensive players of all time when
hard,
he was
yeah.
in LB.
I would say he probably actually is mine.
That's a good answer, right?
You loved Richard
Oh,
Sherman.
I
You-
told-
that's
Fuck,
his
man. I love
first
Richard Sherman.
I
Cam
forgot about
Chancellor.
The
that.
Sherman Revis argument.
Right. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, Richard Sherman has a very good case in that conversation. The problem is everyone's with the defense they played, but it's like, I mean, I can't help you with that. I can't. If one team ran a triangle offense, the other team had James Harden isoing at the top. Obviously, it's 2 different people.
Mm-hmm.
But Revis, how about this? Put them on each side. Then you have a real defense. Let's just talk. But why are we always going against everybody? Let's unite them. Let's have Josh Allen and Joe Burrow play quarterback together on the same team.
I love Troy Polamalu, too, growing up.
Yeah, dude, you're not allowed to hit like that anymore, but
The
there's not guys.
3 best safeties in the game are Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, and Brian Dawkins. Like,
Who's the guy on the Broncos?
Woodson,
There's one on the Broncos
Woodson.
I'm forgetting about.
Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey. Corner, though, more right?
Champ
Can't
Bailey's
be in
corner.
the corner.
You could have, obviously there's Charles
Harrison
Woodson,
Smith.
Ron Woodson, Deion Sanders or more.
But you don't get people like that anymore, I mean, you're not allowed to hit like that, but you don't have a guy who's just like Jamal Adams was supposed to be that guy. He is terrible.
He's horrible.
He sucked.
It's horrible. You don't have a guy like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed though too that knows the cadence, knows the plays people are calling and shit like.
Oh, like
Ed
or
Reed-
even who I love too, Luke Kuechly.
Oh man, that's what. There's so many, but there's not guys like that
How
anymore.
fucking good was Luke Kuechly?
Brian Cushing's from the Texans.
He
That
was
guy
a dog
just psycho.
more so though.
He would
was a
know psycho. He's past dog.
Luke Kuechly was incredible.
I mean, that guy literally was
Intelligent
without a
man.
helmet headbutting that dude. It
Listen,
was
when Tom Brady
horrible.
says you're the best defender of all time, I'm going to listen. So Ed Reed's the guy.
"Oh yeah," and Bill Belichick.
Bill
said it,
Belichick
too.
and Tom Brady.
When
said,
those two are saying you're the best defensive player, that's the best offense. That's the greatest player the game's ever seen. The greatest quarterback, probably the best offensive mind, and that's the greatest defensive mind the game's ever seen. And they both agree that's the best defender of all time.
Yeah, you can't have it any other
two
way.
linebackers too, both on the Packers, AJ Hawk and Clay Matthews. That's
Yep.
the linebacking crew right there.
I just don't feel like we got those guys. Like I don't know if it's
They don't
sports,
exist.
Like, but you're not allowed. to
Are
do
they
that.
allowed to though?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
It's like how good would Roquan be if he could throw his head through somebody? Because he's already a nut when it comes to tackling.
Right. Fred Warner too.
He's great.
He's very good.
He's not as good as in coverage though as like a Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
Anything else football wise? Trivia?
Since the draft is up,
No.
6 teams are in the top 5. What colleges have the most number 1 picks?
Alabama,
No.
Georgia.
To relax.
Georgia has 5. They are tied with second.
It's gotta be 5 all
Ohio
recent.
State.
No Ohio State.
Notre
Really?
Dame.
Notre Dame is tied for second with 5.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Nope.
USC.
USC's number 1 with 6.
Yeah, I knew
Caleb
they'd
got
be
one. Oh, break the tie.
Oh, Caleb. Wow.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is tied for second with 5, and now you guys have tied for. I guess it'd be tied for 6. 2 teams with 4. 2 schools with 4.
Big schools.
Historically big. One's SEC and one's old Pac-12.
It's not Tennessee.
No.
That's just Peyton Manning.
They were
LSU.
Never, no, they were never like. They're always like high on the conference or play the hard teams,
In
but they
the
were never
SEC?
like national championship.
Texas A&M.
No.
South Carolina.
No.
Ole Miss. Thinking like Laramie Tunsil wasn't the first overall pick.
They haven't had one. One hasn't had one since 2011. Another one hasn't had one since 2012.
Not Mississippi State.
Both were quarterbacks.
2011 and 2012. Stanford.
Stanford 4. Andrew Luck was 2012.
Who was the right before him?
SEC quarterback. What the fuck? I'm going to be pissed.
I was thinking
I
Sam
know who it
Bradford.
is. No, I don't know who it is. I was going to say Florida.
Nope.
Arkansas.
No.
Fuck, man.
Heisman Trophy winner, national champion. He only played 1 year.
Auburn. Cam Newton.
4.
God damn it. That was bad. That was really bad. Can't wait to hear in the comments how Mel Kiper's hating on us.
Auburn, Cam Newton.
There's not a job other than Mel Kiper's where you can be wrong
I will give him the benefit of the doubt with trades and stuff, but saying that the Raiders, if everything stays pat, they're going to take Ashton Genty at 6. If they do, that's on them, and I'll give him his flowers. But the fact that he's putting that out there as confidence, I would say, because I don't know where he's getting that, I would say, listen, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard as well, but this is what's happening. The fact that that's his mock draft is kind of like tells me that's what he thinks.
If he wrote in there that the Raiders are going to trade for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and they're going to have big defensive signings, I'd be like, GT makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even still, though, like you said, with the running backs, I wouldn't go him.
Right.
Because it's like
there's someone more beneficial that
because
will help
he ranks them as their best players, right? But then when he picks the draft, he drafts on who he thinks they're drafting.
Yes. He'll tell you why he thinks they're going to go with that too.
Okay.
Actually, let me take a look. You guys filibuster.
Because I wasn't sure if he was saying like this is who I think they should draft. Like Mel thinks like if you're the Titans, you need to draft Abdul Carter, or he's saying I've heard from the Titans camp that are going to like how is he?
That's what I'm saying.
With this?
Maybe he's saying I think the Raiders are fucking idiots and they're going to draft GT. If that was his reasoning, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Well, if they didn't have Tom Brady as part of ownership, then I could totally see them. I could see them drafting that tight end, like you said, if they didn't have Tom Brady as part of ownership.
I can't believe they did that back-to-back years, and I also can't believe it worked out. You see what Max Crosby, I think I might have touched on this on an episode before, where Max Crosby was talking about the draft, and he was saying he believes you should take the best player basically available. And he was saying, he said, last year we didn't really need a tight end, but look, he's the first tight end ever to win, offensive rookie of the year or first team All-Pro as a tight end as a rookie. And all this shit, he was like, there's a lot of teams that like they need a quarterback and they feel it's essential. Like if you need a left guard, but there's not a first round left guard, you don't need to take a left guard first round. Like take what the best available is.
Right.
Yeah, I completely agree. But they don't think about that quarterback. Like there's not a first round quarterback.
I felt like that was his opinion, and he was also speaking to the Raiders a little bit.
Yeah.
He's basically here. He says, I thought about Sanders here, especially given the link between him and Tom Brady. It's plausible. Give it another month, and Vegas still might be considering trading up for him. Free agency has to play out. So right now I'm looking at other positions here. Plus, look at what happened when the Raiders missed out on quarterbacks last year. They landed Brock Bowers, who looks like a star tight end. Now they have a chance to add another one in GT and clean up the league's worst running game, 3.6 yards per carry in 2024. Why would that be the running back's fault?
Right.
Is my question.
Yeah,
now,
was their running back, hey, he got the ball and he just laid down?
Now, their running backs were terrible. They had 3 backup running backs that they thought, we'll just have committee here. They're all horrible.
Right.
And then he says,
but their passing game was horrible, so it's like, hey,
you can't blame anybody for anything because their whole team is terrible.
And then he says, and speaking of Carroll, remember his background about Pete Carroll. He leaned on the run game in Seattle for years, and he has even used a first-round pick on Rashad Penny in 2018. Which that makes sense that you're correlating that. But he says, Genty brings it all: speed, power, elusiveness, contact, balance, and vision. He ran for blah, blah, blah. Las Vegas can advance the offense by getting yet another elite playmaker into the fold and looking elsewhere for a more stable QB. I would rather go QB if I was them.
Do you have the remainder of his first round mock draft?
Yes.
Does he have any other running backs going?
No.
Okay. Do you have a second round or anything?
No, it's just the first round.
I bet you he has a bunch of running backs going second and third round because there are. It just doesn't make sense to me why I wouldn't go GT if he was there at like 24. And I know people are like, whoa, that's crazy. That's this, that's that. But it's just like.
Oh, he does. I'm sorry. He has Omarion Hampton going to the Dallas Cowboys.
From North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah. At 12.
12.
So he has running backs going 6 and 12.
Yep.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That kid is good, though.
If I was a good team, let's say the Bills, they don't want to pay James Cook. It's like, okay, maybe you draft Genty if he's falling that far or something like that. But I would pay James Cook.
Man.
I'm just trying to see 30. He's got the Bills taking.
Running backs are just a dime a dozen position.
Unless you're CMC or Saquon.
I want you to think.
Or Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Which I think he's saying Genty will be one of those, which is fair. But Just think about how many great, like really good running backs are. Let's say those three are great. Let's say Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey are the 5 great running backs in the league right now. How many other ones are really fucking good? You know what I mean?
Not many.
Josh Jacobs.
I'm just saying for me, for running backs, I would rather have 3 great offensive linemen and 1 decent running back than 1 great running back and 3 decent.
No,
linemen.
I'm saying there's running backs are a dime a dozen. There's a lot of really goods. Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs. I'm just going to name running backs.
Think about J.K. Dobbins and what J.K. Dobbins did last year, and it's because the Chargers
went O-line.
You stop me when I'm reaching, and I'm now just talking out of my ass about this guy's really not that good, okay? Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Chuba Hubbard, Aaron Jones, Bucky Irving, James Conner.
Chuba and Bucky, I'd be
okay.
Chuba, Bucky.
Tony Pollard. I'm just going in order of rushing yards.
He's all right.
James Cook, Joe Mixon, Chase Brown.
Those guys are all right. I mean, the jury's out.
Chase Brown and Joe Mixon are offensive line guys.
Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery.
Kamara for sure.
like
Montgomery's a little, Montgomery I would say definitely benefits more from being in that line system.
A-Chain, Swift, Breece Hall.
I like A-Chain.
Breece Hall would be the best of those 3.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker.
Best running back in the league.
Nick Chubb.
Injury, but good.
Healthy, yeah.
And I'll stop there.
Yeah.
I mean, how many running backs did I just name?
Like 20.
There's 32 fucking teams in the NFL.
Right. You don't need that. My whole thing is 6 for them. It's like, oh, we have him and Brock Bowers, and it's like you don't have anyone on D line, you don't have anyone on O line, you don't have any risk. Like
D line, they have Wilkins and Crosby.
I mean, like defensively, I guess in total, but
he got hurt.
They just need more. A running back's not what they're.
If you're Raiders and you're looking at the team, you're not like, you know what, running back was what cost us.
I like that corner, Jack Jones, and I like Trayvon
Moe
too.
Yeah, they mainly need help is O line, quarterback. But the problem is, I would start with O-line before I went.
I would start with I'd say
unless you have the number 1 pick next year and it's Arch Manning and it's like, listen, we're gonna get rid of people and start flooding into this O-line, but like that guy, you don't really want to miss out on.
Yeah, there's those rare
Shedeur,
names.
I wouldn't take Shedeur.
There's those rare names, but like me personally as a GM, if I was a GM, if my trenches weren't set, I would get trenches.
No, right. I wouldn't draft Cam Ward or Shedeur if I was the Giants or the Jets or. The Browns are a little different, but if I was Giants, Jets, huh?
Okay, good.
Oh, if I was Giants, Jets, Titans, Raiders, I'm not taking a quarterback. No fucking shot.
What is a quarterback going to do? Win you the Super Bowl in the next 2 years?
No. Anything else?
That's good.
Bill?
I'm good.
All right. We'll see you next week. We'll see how these parts go, how you guys like them. Other than that, like I said, just continue to be better every day. I went to before 9 o'clock this morning, I had my car, for 8:30 probably, 9 o'clock. I had my car washed, vacuumed, gym done, and my homework done.
I'll tally on that with yesterday, work, immediately to the gym, immediately to eating right. I cooked my food, 6 eggs. Sorry about that.
This guy, man, like, stop doing. You don't need 6 eggs.
You're fucking sorry. I don't eat cookies.
No,
and
that's
Play-Doh.
not. See, but that's not what we're doing.
Clean my room, clean my car. What are you gonna do?
All right.
All that done by noon.
Other than that,
finish the book. Week.